Happy Easter to everybody out there. Hope y'all Easter is really, really good and you have fun and find plenty of them eggs. I found plenty over at my chicken yard, so we shouldn't have any problem having eggs.
Be safe.
And remember, Elvis fans matter, and we love y'all.
Welcome back to Elvis Fans Matter. Let's see. Got a few questions for you.
Okay.
Because we had a lot of questions come in the past few weeks, and so we're trying to cover everybody. Please do send your questions in, and if we don't get it on a video, we will get to it. We have a lot that come in, and we want to include everybody, so don't feel left out.
Yeah.
We're doing our best.
We're waiting for Billy to come in and join us. So we're just trying to get some questions that was directed to me first, and then Billy will be here too. Can't do it without him.
No. Okay, one of the questions was when you met Papa,
Mm-hmm.
And y'all have told the story about how you met a few times in high school,
Mm-hmm.
but it said when he told you that he was Elvis's cousin, did you believe him, or was it one of those things like he's full of it?
When everybody knew in high school who Billy, who he was anyway. I already knew who he was. Billy in high school was like the rebel to me. He had a lot of he was always real friendly, a lot of good, but a lot of resentment from some of the kids, because sometimes Elvis would come. I remember one time Elvis and Anita came to pick him up, and in one of Elvis's cars, and Anita came in to check him out of school. So he got a lot of I wouldn't say harassment, but a lot of people that were kind of, yeah. But he had a lot of friends too. A lot of the guys that he knew would go and play football with him and stuff like that. But no, I already knew who he was, but I was not a big Elvis fan back then, because I was still like, I had just got over playing Cowboys and Indians and stuff like that outside. I wasn't very old when I met him, but we just clicked when we first met, and we've been together ever since. So.
Well, you told him one of our earliest videos when we stopped at the Vaughn Theater in Hernando that you went with your cousins to see an Elvis movie, and when they were screaming and freaking out with him, you thought they were crazy.
I went. I had gone down to stay a week with a friend of mine that lived in Hernando, and it was in the summer, and we went to see, I think it was Love Me Tender. Her dad took us and dropped us off at
That's right, wasn't your cousin? It was
my
Douglas,
friend Barbara Douglas. And I had gone down to stay with her for that week, and her dad dropped us off at the old Vaughn Theater in Hernando, which Billy and his band played that Vaughn Theater too later on. But it was the first time I had ever been to an Elvis movie, that was his first movie, but it was the first time I really started to know him, because I lived out in the country, and, I didn't get up around and all that stuff.
And you didn't know Papa yet?
No, I didn't know him yet when we went there, but when he would sing or start to move, all those girls would jump up and start screaming, and I thought, my God, what in the world is happening here? And then when he got shot, I thought they were going to tear the theater down. I mean, they were so mad, and they had, and I was like, oh my God, what is it? But then my friend filled me in. She was a little older than me, and she filled me in about Elvis. If you don't know Elvis, you don't know nothing. So I learned quick, but I just I didn't really just have a lot. I didn't do records and stuff like that. My older sister did, and she was crazy about Elvis, but I don't know. I was more of the outside type. I like to go out. I like to ride horses. I like to do, different stuff like that. And I just wasn't into that yet. Little did I know that would be my life. And thankful for it because I've had a great life.
Speaking of Barbara Douglas, I want to say hello to
Terry.
Terry and Linda Douglas. A few years back at my job, I was working with a man named Terry Douglas, and always talking about his wife Linda and his kids. He's from the same town that I live in, Hernando. And
it took me 6 months or a year?
Yes, I was constantly telling Nanny and Papa about this man Terry and all that. He's just, I could look at him and get tickled. He's just funny, just crafty, artistic, can do anything. But I kept talking to her, and she said, well, I knew, a guy named Terry. I grew up from Hernando, Terry Douglas, and grew up with his sisters, Ann and Barbara, and knew his mama and daddy. And his mama and daddy were actually best friends with Nanny's mama and daddy. And so Terry and I got to talking and realized the connection. But Terry and Linda have moved from Hernando out in the country. But I do want to say hey to Terry and Linda if y'all are watching, and hope that y'all are enjoying the valley down there. I know that y'all are. And I miss you, Terry, but I know that you're enjoying retirement. So let's see. Back to some questions. And here's one. I know you do. I'm going to get tickled. But
Lisa
and Aunt Delta.
Oh, my goodness. Lisa had a personality so much like her daddy until it was pitiful. I mean, she had the same expressions. And as a little kid, when she was at Graceland, I mean, she just let it go, and Elvis never really would get on to her about anything unless it was something that was interfering with what he was wanting to do. But she would ride that golf cart, and as soon as she got up in the summertime, she came for the whole summer. And when she'd get up, she'd get on that golf cart and circle the trailer to get us up, and she had a few choicey little words that she would say. I mean, she would cuss, but she was funny as she could be. She just, I remember this one time we were out there, and Delta would kind of watch over Aunt Delta would when she was there, and Lisa didn't want to go in, and Delta kept saying, okay, you're going to have to come in and get your bath. And Lisa would say, no, I don't want to get my bath now. I'm not coming in. Leave me alone. And Delta would say, come on now, Lisa. Come on. I'm not going to call you anymore. And she'd say, go on and don't call me anymore. I'm not coming in. So this one time, Delta was kind of irritated, and she said, I'm gonna tell you one more time now to come on in. And she said, if you don't come on in, I'm going on to bed. And she said, well, you know what? She said, that's a good idea. She said, carry it on to bed, fat ass, and leave me alone. So we just thought, But she was something else. She used to ride around, and she would sign. People would call her up to the fence, and she would ride up to the fence, and they would give her their paper and say, would you sign your autograph? And she would put on there like, F you, Lisa Presley, or go to where, and Lisa Presley, and just die laughing. And they just thought that was just hilarious. So I know one time they wanted to pay her. They said, we'll give you $10 if you'll just go in the house and get Danny and Joey were with her, and Rory. If you'll just go in the house and get anything, to get a fork, a spoon, or anything, if you'll just. And she said, okay. So they paid her, and she took off and laughing, sucker. And she didn't come back. So, but she was funny like that. They just thought, all the fans just thought that was the funniest thing, and so cute, and she was.
I'd be interested to see one of the one of her original signatures. If anybody out there has it
Yeah.
and wanted to post it and share it, or if you know somebody that has it, that would just be funny to see.
When she was little.
Yeah. When she wrote something nasty on there.
She was a card. Priscilla was more strict, and Elvis just was not. He wasn't strict. When she came to Graceland, she just had the run of the whole place. And now she did, she had a certain time that they went in and they watched her diet and stuff like that. But she ate. She'd get people to go across the street to the 7-Eleven or down the street to the 7-Eleven, and get her candy, and and she always Grandma Presley always kept candy in her nightstand drawer, and Lisa spent a lot of time in there. They watched that though, because Delta was a diabetic. I'm pretty sure, and they wanted to make sure that her she didn't get too much into the sugar, but she was a card, bless her heart. She was just a loving little girl. She had, she was funny as she could be. She just reminded you so much of Elvis. But she loved animals, and she loved babies, and she loved to play, and she just had a ball.
Alright, I've got this question, and I'll ask you, and then I'll ask Papa, because he may actually know more. But did you know Elvis's grandpa Presley?
I never met him.
You never met him?
No, Billy did, but
okay.
I never met him. I know at a tour, on tour one time, Elvis would say, I don't even think his granddaddy was there. I don't know why it hit him to say it, but he'd say, I'd like to introduce my grandfather. Now, one time he was at one of but he'd say my grandpa or my grandfather, and he'd say, stand up, grandpa, sit down, grandpa, stand up, grandpa. But I never did meet him.
You never did.
Jesse was his name.
Mm-hmm. And Papa may know this, but do you know why Jesse Presley was not brought to Graceland?
Oh, well, I'm sure because he remarried, and Grandma was there, but he wouldn't have been. They wouldn't have done anything to, to offend Grandma Presley. Elvis loved Grandma Presley, Dodger, and went in to see her just about every night before he would go out someplace. Before we would go to play racquetball or to the movies or whatever, he'd go in and see her.
Was Grandma and Grandpa Presley, did they divorce?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure on that. So.
Yeah.
But you knew Minnie Mae.
Yeah. I loved Grandma Presley. She was the card.
I was gonna say, was she funny?
She was funny as she could be.
And Papa didn't know Robert and Doll Smith.
No.
Did he not get a chance to know them, which is Gladys and
No.
Travis, his grandma, and Grandpa on his daddy's side?
They passed away before Billy was born. Mm-hmm.
So, well, we have a few more questions, but I think
Wait for Papa.
We'll wait for Papa and include him on these, because we have a lot of questions about the Smith siblings, which is Gladys and Travis's other siblings.
Yeah.
And Uncle Vester.
Yeah.
Questions on that. Questions about some of the guys and the movie days and traveling.
All the guys and their wives. We Joe and Joni. Of course, now there's different wives, but we did things with the families like with Joe and Joni and Alan and Joe Fortis and Sam and Louise and Dick and Marilyn. Then now, of course, we met his Dick's widow, Melissa, and love her to death. She's just as nice as she can be. But we knew them, we knew their wives way back because we go back to the, of course they weren't there in the 60s, but a lot of them were, like Jean Smith and Louise. We were close to them, and Lamar and Nora. We just knew all of them. Richard and Kim. It's Kim. It is his widow, but Kim is remarried. But I knew Richard's wife back, and we did things together. We were just all real close, real close. Of course, Charlie never married, and you know, Charlie was close too. Charlie was just
He's
you
just
know,
a different character.
yeah, he was a
Was
character.
Yeah.
He was a character.
I didn't know him, but
Yeah, but
it's funny.
you could not like Charlie because he just he made you. I mean, he could strike up a conversation with anybody. We were in Palm Springs one time, and he decided. He said, "Why don't you? Do y'all want to go shopping?" Talking to all the, and we of course we did, and he took us to a mall that he knew about in Palm Springs, and he said, "Y'all just go in." It was all the girls. He said, "Y'all just go in and don't rush." He said, "I'll just be sitting out here smoking a cigarette and I'll find somebody to talk to." And when we all finished, we gathered. He was sitting on a little round seat thing out in the middle of the mall. And when we got finished, we went, and of course he had him 2 or 3 people out there cornered and doing impressions and telling them all about Decatur, Alabama.
Not much to tell about Decatur.
No, not a whole lot.
So, well, with that, I guess we will. We'll have more of the viewers' questions to answer. Papa will be in those videos and can answer more of those. But again, we thank all of you for watching our videos and joining us each week.
And check out the ticket thing because they're going pretty fast.
They
now,
are going pretty fast.
And we
have a
would
few
love to
seats.
see you all in August.
Yeah, we have a few seats left in each show. One is sold out. That's our Monday, 1:30 to 3:30. It's our final show. But we have sessions on Saturday, August the 12th, Sunday, August 13th, and Monday, August the 14th. So message me on Facebook. You can also message on Instagram. We are on Instagram, EFM, Elvis Fans Matter. Or you can email me and if you have questions about the tickets. But if you're not able to come but you do see our advertisement for the event, share it on your Facebook page, on your Instagram page, share it with your Elvis fan clubs or your Elvis groups that you're included in on social media, because sharing it helps. And also share the link to our channel. We appreciate all the shares and the questions and the views, and we hope that you'll continue to keep joining us each week on Sundays.
I want to say hello to somebody. She's been sending me letters and notes, and her name is Patsy Foshi. And I just want to say, Patsy, I enjoy your letters and agree with a whole lot of what you're saying. I'm not going to say what you're saying, but I've been enjoying them.
It is. It's always nice to get feedback
Yes.
and to hear from y'all. We appreciate it just as much as y'all appreciate seeing the videos and the posts. We appreciate all of you.
We do.
But with that, I guess we'll cut it off and say
Elvis
Elvis fans matter. Thanks for watching.